Hi, I'm Judson Lacasco, and for our stock assignment, I chose the limited brand stock. Over the history of the limited brands company, Les Wexner is the owner of the company, and he opened his first store in Kingsdale Shopping Center in Columbus, Ohio. He began to branch off into different stores around the country, including Victoria's Secret, Lane Bryant, and Henry Bendel. They sell products to consumers that emphasize intimate apparel and personal care, such as this candle that come in bags such as this and Victoria's Secret. This is their website where it's easy access for consumers to online shop. As you can see, they have deals here and all their products available online for easy use. So when I first purchased the stock, we were given $1,000, and I was able to purchase up to 22 shares. That was due because the share price was $44.29, so 1,000 divided by that was 22. I purchased these shares on March 7th, 2018, and during that time, the market cap was $12.73 billion. The market cap is calculated by multiplying the number of shares by the price of each share. So 282.27 million shares multiplied by 44.29 is roughly 12.73 billion. Overall, I'm unsatisfied with the performance of my shares because that is due to the share price falling about $10 from March 7th to now, and it went from 44.29 to about 34.33. So this means that if I sold my shares that I had purchased back then, now I would actually have a capital loss because of the decrease in the number of shares on the market and the share price. So as I said, the share price decreased about $10, and my $1,000 investment that I had March 7th would turn into $755.26, and that is due to the number of shares that I purchased, which was 22, multiplied by the current price today, which was 34.33. So as I said, this would give me a capital loss, and yep. So regarding the market cap, it fell about $3 billion from $12.73 billion to about $9.58 billion. And like I said, it's probably due to the share price and the number of shares on the market. Limited Brands introduced a buyback program for their shares and stocks. That was probably a smart thing to do because their share price was undervalued. And so the company thought that if the stock was undervalued, why wouldn't they buy a bunch of those stocks and sell them for a higher price at a later date when the price rises back up? So the buyback program was set to buy back 5.7 million shares. So 282.27 million shares went to 278.8 million shares on the market. So this will boost their profits in the long run because they'll sell their shares that they purchased for a higher price because they're going to get a cheap deal out of it right now for buying 5.7 million shares. To calculate the decrease or growth in stock price, you would take the current stock price subtracted from the past price and then divided by the past price, and that got me a 23.30% decrease in the stock price or the share price. And to get the decrease or growth in the market cap, you would take the current market cap, subtract the past market cap, and then divide it by the past market cap. And that got me a 24.74% decrease in the market cap. So as you can see, the percentages show that the stock really did fall a huge percent. So what is a dividend? A dividend is a sum of money paid regularly by a company to its shareholders out of its profits. For the past year and a half, Limited Brands has given out 60 cents in dividends. And the last time the dividend handout was different was on February 17th, 2016. And that was when the value of the dividend was $2.60. So a big chunk of money that comes or that is brought in to Limited Brands is the Victoria's Secret chain. So recently their merchandise has been lacking profits, and that is partly due to the big cut that they had on their swim line. I know a lot of consumers really buy a lot of their swim suits, and that was a huge drop off because they took their swim line off the market. Another thing is they had their annual fashion show recently, and the ratings dropped about 30%. So this indicates that less and less people are paying attention to what Victoria's Secret, which is a huge chunk of Limited Brands, has to offer for their consumers in the economy. And also the Me Too movement, which stands for Sexual Harassment and Assault Awareness. Limited Brands or Victoria's Secret haven't really come out and shown their support for this movement, and that is a big problem because their huge demographic consumers are aged 18 to 49-year-old women. And if the women don't feel their support for the sexual harassment in today's world, why would they buy some of the merchandise and products that Limited Brands has to offer today? As I told you, I'm not really pleased with the performance of my shares that I purchased. So I would not buy more of this stock because I lost money. I would hold on to it a little longer to see if I could get back to as close as a $0 profit as possible, or maybe even a little capital gain. If I just sold my shares right now, I would basically be giving up and just taking the loss and saying that I have a capital loss, and I would just have to live with that on my shoulders. So I want to try and recover from my losses and just get back on track. So I would definitely not recommend someone to buy this stock as of right now, but maybe if the stock turned around in the near future, maybe people would go for it, because right now they're going on a negative path, and their stock price is really showing that. It's easier to assume something will get worse than to get better. It's just really human nature and instinct. So if you have a gut feeling that the stock isn't going as planned, then maybe you shouldn't buy it. So another thing, a big thing, is risk tolerance for consumers on the market and investors who are interested in buying stocks and shares. If you have a big risk tolerance and you are taking risks of stocks and shares, their prices increasing or decreasing, whatever you want, it's just really about all the risk you want to take. And if you don't think that you can handle such a big risk and you're putting your money on the line, it can be a huge deal. And as for me, my risk tolerance, especially with money, is not something that I take a lot of risks with, because I really do value the money I have. So, yep, that's the stock I chose, and hopefully Limited Brands can get back on track.